Hey guys, Torpedo on the Most Targeted Citizen. It's been a screwed up day. Came out to do some welding today, and that's when I found that my welder was out of gas. Then I get gas, fill it up, bring it back. Not only is it out of gas, but somebody broke the gauge. So 3 or 4 different things on my welder. Last week I found that the settings were set differently. I go to use it welding that day, and then all the wire's gone. Then I find out, this happened a couple months ago. Last month I think I came out here to weld, and these gloves were fairly new. And somebody had cut a hole right here in the top, and this right here on the top here is exactly where I hold my finger to weld. I weld with my left hand because I'm left-handed, so it was cut right there. Well, I taped that shut, as you can very well see, and then one day this week I came outside and my glove is cut right here, right there on my hand. So not only that do I use it here, but I also put the welder here. So they cut 2 different places that I use to brace up like this for my welding gun. I brace up like this right here, and I lay my welder across my hand. So they have ruined this pair of welding gloves that should last. I know guys that had their welding gloves for years, 10 years they had their welding gloves, and they weren't cut like this. And I can assure you, I may be new to welding, but I'm not new to, if you touch your hand with a grinder, it's going to cut through gloves and hit you. So, oh, you just do that for attention. You cause all the stuff you do it yourself so you can come on YouTube and look crazy. Okay. My gauge is inside for my welder. I don't know where I'm going to find one of that at. And most people, I don't know if they even have them. They don't have them at Harbor Freight. They don't have them at the welding shop. So just for that one gauge, I'll have to buy both gauges. And I got a good deal because I got those gauges with my welder. And if I have to replace them, that's $287 for a set of argon gauges. Isn't that lovely? Thank you for the world. Let me tell you this. In this program, I have told you repeatedly, remote neural monitoring. I don't know if I can clean this screen without it. Oh, somebody put the screen protector right there in the middle of my camera, and it's foggy in one place and not on the other. Let me see if I can do this without turning it off. Okay, let's see. That's exactly what happened. The screen protector's over half the screen. Oh, I wonder who did that. Anyway, I told you guys, remote neural monitoring. So in other words, and somebody left a comment, and thank you for your comment. We need to find out how to make our frequency less visible, or how to raise or lower our own frequency. Listen, there are the gurus and the people that like do yoga and these spiritualists that talk about lifting and raising your frequency. Listen, I'm not talking about placebo. I'm not talking about, oh, this may be an idea. When I tell you it's a frequency, your body, your brain, your whole system, yourself, you have a frequency. You have a frequency. Everyone has a different frequency. It isn't a point of lowering your frequency so they can't hear you. You cannot hide your frequency from these people. You can't. You can't hide it. You can't change it. Now, if you do the borax baths, bathe in borax and Epsom salt like I do, that helps get the sludge, the toxic goo that they're dropping on us from airplanes, that helps get that off, which gives less of a target for their directed energy weapons to work. They're still going to work, but it kind of turns down the volume of your frequency bathing. But you can't concentrate or meditate or pray to turn your frequency off so you can't be found. Okay, so I don't think I'm being hateful or mean, because everyone's allowed their own opinion. I'm just going to tell you mine. That's how they identify us, is once they get it through your DNA, they can track you anywhere in the world. So, with this technology, I've told you before many times that they see everything that, every signal my eyes send to my brain. They are picking up those signals with a computer, and that computer shows it. I mean, I've showed you videos that they're literally reading the human mind. They've deciphered every signal, every word, every picture, everything they've deciphered coming from a brain. Well, now they don't need that technology all on your head. They can pick it up through with the 5G grid. They can pick up all those signals, and they have a computer that translates it all. With remote neural monitoring, they know everything I think, everything I see, everything I feel. They know it all. So that's when people say, oh, well, set up traps, catch them with traps. Well, if they see, they're looking through my eyes, they're reading my mind, they know everything that's going on in me. So I cannot set up a defensive posture when they know everything I'm doing. I am my own bug. You understand? With remote neural monitoring, they know everything. So I can't set up a defense. Well, I'm going to set this trap here, and they'll never guess it. I used to think that's what it was. I went through at my property over in Claremont. I had fishing line with fishing hooks hung from the trees and all the trails. Literally, I spent days hanging fishing line. I took nails and beat it into boards and stuck it under leaves all everywhere. I'm like, that's going to get them. That's going to get them. Well, with the remote neural monitoring, they see what I'm doing, so they know exactly where the trap is. Boop, boop, boop. Just like if you have a combination lock on your safe, how do they get in? I don't know how they got in my combination lock, because if you're hooked up to the mainframe like I am, they know the combination because they watched you set it up. That's why you cannot. That's just like saying, well, we're gonna win the war. We're gonna win the war, except you have just like China's trying to kill us, because China's trying to kill us. Mason's left my Allen wrenches out in the rain again. See what I mean? He just picks stuff up, and like this right here, he picks stuff up, sets it down, walks away. This is every day of my life, picking up stuff that he's laid down. Every day. So it's like trying to formulate a plan to destroy an enemy while the enemy is sitting right there as you formulate your plan. Well, remote neural monitoring, that's how they do it. They know everything we say and everything we do, and I'm going to prove that to you right now. Well, what I say is proof ain't proof to nobody, but common sense to me says, well, here you go. When my targeting was over and heavy, they'd run me out of my house, they'd run me out of my pop's house, and I moved back to my mom's house to take care of her during cancer. I'm out there in the driveway. She lived close to the interstate. She could hear the interstate roar, and that was horrible for my voice to skull, because that ambient noise of the trucks and cars is the same why voice to skull is horrible when you're taking a shower, because that noise of the shower that carries the noises louder in our minds. So I'm underneath the hood of my F-350 four-door Ford dually, biggest truck you can buy in 1987. Underneath the hood of it, and I said, I'm just going to think of a word. I'm just going to think of a word. And I cannot remember the word. I think it's maybe like lasagna or something like that. But I thought of that word. And as soon as I thought of that word that was totally opposite of the conversation, farthest from the conversation I was having with myself, working on that truck, as they're ridiculing me and talking crap to me and attacking me through voice to skull, I think that word. And they went, lasagna, what are you, hungry? Something like that. It was a response to me just thinking of that word. And I was like, they're in my mind. They read my thoughts. Let me give you another example. With the little bit of charge that I had left on my cell phone, because I did the same thing, and I showed you the video where it was act like it was charging, it wouldn't, and it would, and it wouldn't. It worked. It charged one time, great, and literally, that's not how hacking goes. But let me how you. They can make. I showed you guys with the speaker last week. I have a speaker that you plug up, the Oonce speaker. The day I got it, it was the loudest speaker you can imagine. Within 2 days, they turned the volume all the way down. After they turned the volume down, and I still tried to use it, what they did, then they made it where it wouldn't charge anymore. They can do that. Same thing they do with cell phones. This is like the 10th or 12th cell phone that I've had the past 2-3 years. They can do this, and this is what they do. So they were sitting there, and they can turn it off and make it where it will not accept the charge. They can hack into it and cut off your charging port. Of course, you'll say, well, the charging port's broke. Well, technically, it's not broke. It would still work if they turned it back on, because they can do that. With voice to skull and remote neural monitoring, where they were reading my thoughts. As I woke up this morning and I checked my phone with the little bit of power I had left, I go to Facebook Marketplace, because I always check it out. I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and it starts showing me the feet, the stands for, You drop your Christmas tree down in it, and you open the legs up on it. You know what I'm talking about? The thing that you see, the little red thing with the green legs on it, and it just opens up, folds down, and you put your Christmas tree in it, and then you turn the screws to hold your Christmas tree up. It kept showing me those things. And I was like, what in the world is it showing me that for? And I don't remember if I did this on video. I don't think I did this on video. And if I did, then this whole thing is shot. I've already shot my own evidence. But I then remembered that I came out yesterday and set this boiler up. This is for, you hook up propane to it so you can light this up. My Facebook Marketplace was trying to sell me these brand new and used, I mean, just nothing but article after article after article for a Christmas tree stand. All because I set this up. You pull the pins out and it folds up. See, pull the pin out and it folds up. Just like this leg, they all three leg down. So it's pretty much the same thing as a Christmas tree stand, but for propane. So if I recorded that, I don't remember it. Maybe I did, I don't know. If I did, it still doesn't matter, but the point is, I don't think that I did. But if I didn't, then they're using what I'm thinking. They're using what I'm seeing with my own eyes to do this. So if I record it, fine, and then I've just wasted 5 minutes trying to explain it. Beyond that, don't you find it creepy that you can, and I'm telling you, I've been telling people this for years, nobody believed me. And I told this before they even started talking about it, but I said, listen, they're reading my thoughts. Every time I think about something, it pops up on Facebook. And then Facebook comes out a couple years ago, oh, we're monitoring your speaker, so if you talk about something on Facebook, we're going to pop it up in your WAN ads. Well, oh, yeah, it's just because you're talking. Now, that was lunacy 6 years ago when I told people that. Oh, yeah, you're crazy. Facebook ain't listening to you. Well, then come to find out they admitted, hey, when you sign the contract with Facebook, you give up all anonymity. You're letting Facebook know everything because they're on your speaker, on your phone at all times. They listen to every single word you say. Now I'm telling people, hey, Facebook's in conjunction with the CIA, they're reading our minds. That's how they know exactly what to sell you. Information is the most expensive, the largest business in America and the world right now is information. So if they own the information that you're producing in your own mind, they can buy rights to that information of your mind, not only to sell you things, not only to buy things from you, but to know everything on your mind. And that's where Minority Report, the movie with Tom Cruise, comes in. They were telling us exactly what they were doing. Pre-crime. They can read your mind and find out that you may commit a crime and they're coming after you. That's what red flag laws are. Did you know since they enacted the red flag law, California has had 900 red flag claims where they went and took firearms from 900 people without due process at all? Yep. So when I tell you, and I've been telling you, they're listening to you when you talk around your phone. Okay, well, I believe that, but it ain't no big deal. I ain't got nothing to hide, really. You don't have anything to hide? Your most intimate moments. When I tell you your phone is always recording, whether it's on or off. You know when your phone goes dead because there's not enough power? You find it strange because that turns off the main CPU of your computer. But the speaker is still recording 24 hours a day. Always. Just like your camera is always recording everything you say, everything you do. The camera on both sides. Remember I told you about the reason for the camera on the inside, the reason for the selfie camera? Do you remember I told you that? The reason for that was identifying you. That way when you committed crimes on this side of the camera, they know exactly who you are through facial recognition. And they use that facial recognition in conjunction with vocal recognition. And how many people use the fingerprint scanner? So now think to yourself, if they want to set you up, all they got to do is upload how to say they want to set you up for murder. All they got to do is hack into your search engine. Well, they don't even have to hack because Google has access to everything you own. Any device you own, Google has access to. So they want to set you up, say, all these mass shootings and all this stuff going on. They want to set you up for a murder. What do? They go to your computer because they say, well, they search their they searched the suspect's computer and they found how to kill such and such a person with such and such weapon. Well, they've already uploaded it on your computer. It's just like a lot of people, just like Alex Jones. He said, listen, they ever come after me and they go to my computer and they say they found child porn, they put it all there. They have access to every device you own. They have access to whether you gave them or permission or not. Because, listen, these are people that you probably will never agree with politically, religiously. In no way do you agree with these people that you are trusting with all of your information. We're just blindly trusting them that, I mean, just like people do all their banking on their telephone. You're trusting total strangers, and you don't even know how many strangers it is. Well, my most intimate pictures of my children, and maybe I want to send a pecker pic to my girlfriend. These strangers see it all. I just wonder how many times they get around and just laugh. Hey, you know this one guy on Facebook? Well, check him out. Look at here. Look at the messages he sent his girlfriend. Now ask yourself, how? How do these senators and congressmen we send to Washington, how is it they're all gung-ho to protect our rights and defend our Constitution, but when they get up there, everything changes? The cell phone is spying on them. Deep State and China has access to Google's catalogs, and they know everything you do. And the CIA, along with the FBI, has a supercomputer that reads your thoughts and sends it all to the data center in Utah, not to mention the fusion center near you. America and people around the world, listen when I tell you this. The wolves built the hen house. The wolves built the hen house. I'm Stuart Pidlon, the most targeted citizen. You want to do the live stream? Answer questions? Leave me a comment and tell me. If not, I'm just not going to do it. Like, share, and subscribe. God bless.